Well, we started fostering a couple of years after we got married, which was 40, a bit more than years ago. And then when we moved here 28 years ago, our own sons were just about teenagers, so we thought it would be a good idea if we had teenage boys. Teenagers in general are just young adults, aren't they? They have, and a lot of them are lovely people. I do think they get a bad press, really. And I think that's been the same really right through the ages. Teenagers have always been not terribly well looked on, shall we say, the bad boys. But most of our boys have been great. I mean, it's been a bit of a roller coaster on occasions. There have been some who have had a lot of problems before they came to us, or probably after they came to us as well, but certainly they come with lots of baggage, and it's taken them a while to work through it. Some of them have lost their way a bit. I mean, sometimes it's a bit of a roller coaster, but if you can hang on long enough, then 99% of the time it comes out really well, and the kids do well, we've got satisfaction from it, and we all end up happy families, really.
I think in my experience it's pretty good, because I didn't have as opportunities if I lived on my own, or perhaps, so I wouldn't be in top level, like being in college, having a good education.
I know that one or two people have asked me, well, what sort of qualities would you need, really? Do you think you need to be a foster carer? And you don't need to be anything special at all. But I would say that maybe you need to be fairly emotionally secure, because it can be a bit of a ride sometimes, and I think you have to have a certain amount of empathy. You have to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes a little bit, try and imagine yourself in other people's shoes, because a lot of the lads that we've had, they've had an awful background. They've had a really hard time, really traumatic time, and it takes some while, doesn't it, to get through that. And there are occasions, to be honest, when the only way you keep going is because you've got to be a bit tenacious. You've got to be a bit obstinate, really, and say, well, I'm not letting this go. I'm going to keep on with this, and I'm looking forward to my fostering allowance at the end of the week. And sometimes you have to look at it as a job and get through that particular bad time, but you do get through it, and then you're really glad you did. You know, things that you have got your support worker, and you have got backup. I mean, you don't have to continue on your own. There's always help out there, and if at the end of the day it really is not working out, then there are other places that the lads can move on to, or the children can move on to. If it's not working, then there are things that you can do about it. We've thoroughly enjoyed, we've had lots of fun, and we've enjoyed it. On the whole, we have really enjoyed it. Other people might dispute this, but I think it's kept us young. I mean, I'd say to anybody, give it a go, because we've had a brilliant time. It's really changed our lives, really. It's made this last 28 years that we've been here in Suffolk a whole different experience than what it would have been if it had just been us, without all these lads that we've had.